collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Welcome to your timeless path of true love reading. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, fellow earth sign Virgo that I am. Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. They're my initials. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. There is a link in the description box. You can preview that for free, and that delights me. But you know what else delights me? I'm a creator on Patreon. Patreon.com/drawingthecircle. Ooh, so much fun. So much fun. We've been doing, making some of those morning check-ins public on Sundays. If you're unfamiliar with Patreon, it is a members-only subscription service that allows creators like myself to set up levels of subscription, charge different prices for it with different benefits. And right now we've got 8 different levels of subscription. All of my subscribers, however, get all of the extended readings, all the part ones here on YouTube, like this one I'm doing right now. You can certainly Vimeo on demand. There's a link for that too, but all of my subscribers, no matter what level they subscribe at, get all of the extended readings, past, present, and into the future, and I've done quite a bit of them, so that's a bit of a deeper dive there, as well as they get the daily check-ins every morning. Me sitting on the couch, using the laptop, cup of coffee in my hand, bathrobe, talking about the day's astrological weather, magical applications, spiritual implications, ending with a little prayer, a little blessing, a little something, something to send us on our way. It's my favorite way to start the day, and even though it rhymes, I really mean it. So if you want the deeper dive, more magic, more miracles, more mysticism, more Mal, we got like video classes over there, pay-per-view stuff you'd have to get on Vimeo, depending on your level of subscriber. You can check it out, so go check it out. Click the link, get yourself the support you need. Because I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons. Just come play on a Patreon and you can call me Mal. Yeah, I gotta do that every time. You know, somebody said to me, yeah, it's like every video is an opportunity. I'm like, you mean a commercial? I'm like, only the beginning. And maybe the end. So let's get down to business. If you're new to the channel, there are lots of links in the description box talking about true love, the path of true love, soulmates, twin flames, soul contracts, and all that jazz. And that's what this reading is for, is to help you see where you are on the path of true love, which there's a preface explaining all of this, like the second or third link down. But it is your healing path, your spiritual path, your awakening path through the relationships in your life. Not every one of these readings ends up being romantic, but as you heal one soul contract a little bit, it shifts all the rest of them. Why? Because you're the common denominator in all of your relationships. So whether it's family, friend, co-worker, boss, lover, ex, it doesn't matter. You get to interpret this because it is a general read. You take what resonates, you leave what does not. We're doing these a little differently this time. You will get 15 cards in part 1, but in part 2, because I got all of my decks in front of me or over there or up there, you know, I'm going to record the first one, take a break, step back, and then look and say, okay, who's helping with this? And we're going to go deep. So at least 15 and 15. So at least 30 cards total for the entire reading. So this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't, check your other signs. We're going to have a party number 1 and a party number 2. So even intuitively, you get to kind of feel that out. Usually the significator is person number 1, and the cross, who are they meeting at the crossroads, right? On the path of true love, becoming the true love that we inherently are. Because no matter what anybody else does in a relationship, we don't have to delay our own healing, which cannot be prevented. And how many times do we want to keep coming back into this world and with these same souls over and over and over to work this stuff out? So both feet on the floor if you can. Bam. Focus on your breath if you will. Boom. And we'll have fun with this to the best of our ability. I'm going to get you the clarity, guidance, grace, love, wisdom, and power that I've been trained in this life in all sorts of different ways, culminating in this reading right in this moment. Yeah, and let's see what hits the table. I'm ready. The shift from explanation to divination seems to happen in the still point. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. And here we go. Using the Caroline Myss Archetype deck, I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine for the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers. Yep, even the cross-watchers watching this video and receiving this reading. Whoever this is meant for, I need 2 of these. One for party number 1, one for party number 2, sort of like a soul contract reading, but we're not looking at twin flame soulmates. Maybe that reveals itself, maybe it doesn't. But party number 1, party number 2, they got to feel out which they are, though there could be mirroring for the Taurus collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video, receiving this reading. There's party number 1, and who crosses their path. Party number 2 in this timeless true love read. Here we go. These are in the title. Let's see how brave you are. Oh, the Virgin and the Addict. Oh, that sounds like an interesting weekend. Now, let's talk about this. There are 9 different families or groups of archetypes. So you've got the Virgin archetype here, party number 1, but it has nothing, I mean, a part of it has to do with sexuality, but it really doesn't. This is the feminine family of archetype. There's a masculine family as well. But the Addict archetype is in the wild card, right? It's the one that group that does, you know, they don't necessarily jive with anybody else, and because of that, they're really hard to classify, and they can show up in any way, shape, or form. So we'll have a little bit of a deeper talk about the Addict in a minute, but let's start with the Virgin. Now, written on the card is the shadow attribute and the light attribute. I prefer the language of spiritual alchemy. On the periodic table, lead has 3 more atoms than gold. Cool? So you can't create or destroy those atoms. You have to release them, transform them, transmute them. Lead, gold, right? So all archetypes are neutral. As horrible as it sounds in the dark is as magnificent as it is in the light. So it's a spectrum, right? And that's what these relationships are actually for, is us really, really learning these lessons that we came here to learn and experiences that we came here to have. So the shadow attribute, or the lead of the Virgin, fear of intimate union. And that's with anything and anyone, like maybe even fear of intimate union with the divine, right? So, you know, I'm a Virgo, so I have a touch of the Virgin, but you can have it a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Read Sacred Contracts by Caroline Myss, MYSS. She's a PhD. These are her cards, right? These are her archetype cards, and you know, and that can be, you know, once bitten, twice shy. It's like, oh, I'm there. I feel that very, very clearly, particularly in romantic sexuals, and even some family members that I don't necessarily trust to reveal and open my beautiful Virgo heart with a Pisces moon. The light attribute, though, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. This is the purest, is another way to say this. And this is what I mean. You can have it for a reason. For me, it comes and goes. Karaoke. Like, I sing. I'm a trained singer. Didn't make it a career. I use my throat chakra for other purposes. But, you know, if you're going to sing karaoke badly, why not just, I don't know, drag a rake across a chalkboard, right? It drives me nuts. Good choreography done badly, or bad choreography in general, right? So a bit of a purist, and this is my favorite. If there's a stick of butter on the table and it's got knife hacks in it and breadcrumbs on it, I'm like, can I have an individually wrapped, please? In an Italian family. You schiva me? I'm like, you bet your ass I schiva you. What comes out of your mouth on the regular, right? So I get that. So we've got a bit of a purist here, but symbolic purity of heart and spirit, right? Keeping true to what you value, feminine energy, feminine family on the inside, right? The Addict archetype, everybody has their addictions. An addiction is just a preference that, when not satisfied, creates disturbance, creates unease, creates discomfort, and there's a spectrum of that as well. Now, the shadow attribute of the Addict, everybody knows. How Myss puts this is compromises integrity and honesty. Throat chakra, throat chakra, throat chakra allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirit. So your inner spirit is saying, don't. And you're like, can't not, right? And, you know, codependence. I have members of my family that are addicted to being right, and when they are revealed to actually have made a mistake, they go through withdrawal symptoms. right? The intellectuals, right? So everybody has their addictions, but it is a process of alchemy to heal that. So imagine, of course, drugs, alcohol, all the externals, but what about the more ephemeral addictions, right? Like being right, like addicted to someone else's energy field, right? This is very much what codependence is. So this could play itself out in a billion different ways. It's a wild card archetype. So the light attribute, which I didn't even read, helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior, particularly in other people. You know when you've healed something and you feel it in somebody else's energy field, or just see it in their actions, right? Adult children of alcoholics who've gone through the program, they can spot it like that. So I'm not saying this person is an addict, and I'm not saying this person is a virgin. They are dealing with or working through these archetypes, virgin and addict. Good. Great. All right. So now we're getting to tarot time. What we're going to do is a Celtic Cross spread really seriously. I cut my teeth at 12 years old on the Celtic Cross spread. 10 cards. We're going to do them face down. This will represent the lower 3 chakras, the mythic tarot, the masculine energy. You looking at yourself from the outside in, right, looking kind of horizontally, or you from the inside out, looking out at a person, a place, or a thing, maybe even a bunch of people, because lower 3 chakras are about relationships. Root chakra is tribes, groups of people, right, from your nationality to your small circle of friends, the human race. 3 or more, you're part of it, it's a tribe. Second chakra, one-on-one relationship, which is what we have here. Money, sex, power, creativity. And when I say a thing, right, somebody can have an addiction to a thing. That's the second chakra. And solar plexus chakra, your relationship to yourself, your personal power in the world, your self-esteem as a verb, your self-image as a noun, what you will, what you want, what you do, what you don't. When we think a virgin would have very, very clear boundaries. That's very solar plexus. So let's look from the outside in, inside out. And then in the extended reading, I use the Daughters of the Moon Tarot to see what's behind that, the heart, third eye crown, the feminine energy behind it. Please take a nice deep breath. Right, from explanation to divination, it all happens in the still point. Shifting, there you are. As I call upon my gods of Taurus, my gods of Earth, the sign of Taurus, powers of the North. 10 cards, face down, Celtic Cross, for the Taurus Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Suns, and Cross Watchers watching this video, receiving this reading. Those 2 cards are the most explanation we do in part 1 of any of the cards. So let's get these out. Clear, quick, and clean. What's going on? Lower 3 chakra dynamic for party number 1 with the Virgin archetype in play in the 8th chakra. There we got the lower 3. I'll take that one. Didn't see it. The Addict. I jumped for it. So that's the cover. The cross. Who crosses them on the path? Who crosses their path? What's going on? The core. Subconscious influences, but what they have in common that they may not realize. What's in their behind? What's behind them? What got them to this crossroad? One, the other, or both. What crowns this? Which is hovering over it, but hasn't quite incarnated. There's usually an act of free will involved with that, please. What's crowning for the Taurus Collective and a cross watcher, and what is before them on the path just around the corner, more immediate future, right? Next step kind of stuff. Get in there. And now the staff. What's going on in the lesson? The universal learning template, what the gods and the archangels are trying to teach them in this contract, probably both of them. And from the outside looking in terms of how the world sees this, their destiny, their hopes and fears, what they most hope for and they most fear their fate, and they most hope for their destiny. So this is really a key card here, because only they can do the alchemy from fate to destiny, lead to gold, toxic to healthy, pain to peace. What's going on there? Outside looking in. Hero's journey aspect for the Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Signs, and Cross Watchers, and the most probable outcome for this timeline of this lifetime for the Taurus collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Signs, and Cross Watchers watching this video, receiving this timeless Path of True Love read. Now, there's something that feeling already is a little jumpy. Yes, I had some coffee. I'm not sure that's it, because I did meditate for a good 20 minutes after the coffee. And a little breath work, a little Wim Hof, a little Ho'oponopono, a little Wim Ho goes a long way. Let's see. The Virgin, the Ten of Wands on the outer. Now, tens in particular can very much be root chakra, and this could absolutely be exhaustion and burnout. I don't usually go there with the Ten of Wands, because it's just such a key word. Like, you're overburdened, but you did complete the cycle of fire, some seed of fire, the Ace of Wands. You manifested and completed the cycle. So this is Jason and the Argonauts returned with the Golden Fleece, but the Argo, hence the Argonauts, the ship, got caught on a reef, and it essentially got destroyed as it came in. Mission accomplished, but I can feel maybe a little battered and bruised as a result, which might really mean that this Virgin's a little over it. Maybe, the Virgin right now could be over it. Some of the Virgin are going to be done with humanity, right? It's just, I'm not talking to any people, and yet, we'll see. There's a lot to hit the table before we absolutely define that. What's going on for the Addict? It's a court card, and it's Sagittarius, the Knight of Wands. So we've got fire and fire. This is the Sagittarius card. Yeah, sure, the player of the zodiac, but Sagittarius energy, mutable fire, ruled by Jupiter, ninth house dynamic, spirituality and expansion. It's a lot of fun. Or it's really toxic, right, with that Addict archetype. So, is there burnout here possibly for the Virgin? Is the Addict just wanting to kind of like gallop in? Well, actually, the Sagittarius canters, Gemini gallops. There's a difference between the Nine of Wands and the Knight of Swords. Bellerophon riding Pegasus, slaying the Chimera. So my vibe on this is that there is passion here on this side with the Addict. Like, they want. But where are they on that scale of shadow to light, lead to gold? What's going on underneath is the Virgo card. So this is very slow and steady wins the race. I don't think this is necessarily a person, but we've got two knights in a row. Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight. I'm a Virgo myself, mutable earth. All the knights are the mutable element. So this is slow and steady wins the race, and how I really connect that is in the back of the card. You can't see it necessarily in this lighting. Are beehives. Beehives are not created instantly, nor is honey produced instantly, but it's worth it, right? I have honey in my coffee every single time. Organic, raw, if I can get it, right? There's a lot of healing properties there, and Virgo energy is 6th house, dynamic, health and occupation, because your health affects what you're occupied with, and what you're occupied with affects your health, particularly if you're an addict or Virgin, right? If you are occupied with, as the Virgin, right? I'm not having intimacy with anything, and an addict saying, I want to have intimacy with everything, you can see the shadow light led to gold, and this is saying, slow it down. There's some healing, but this says then that both of them are walking forward on their path, slow and steady, good for Taurus, right? Earth signs in general, but there is a huge opportunity for long-term healing, but little by little by little by little by little. Where are they coming from? 3 of Cups. All right, so this is friendly. This, again, does it have to be romantic? Nothing here is screaming that necessary. But this is the wedding, oddly enough. of Eros and Psyche, the myth of Eros and Psyche. Oh, I have to make sure I put that in the description box. There's a lot of videos on YouTube, but there's an animated one that I absolutely adore. And yeah, they're getting married, but you can't see in the card, but she's not looking at him. Eros, god of love, Aphrodite's son, right? Because he wants her to love him for who he really is, but everybody who looks at him falls madly in love. So it's a 10 cups worth of 10 cards worth of journey. It ends well, but this is, you know, a celebration. Three of Cups is often about an emotional bond, I would say in this case, because we're looking at two people, a second chakra. The element of the second chakra is water, so it can be that kind of empathic vibe there, but very, very friendly. So this came from a good place. Threes are also numbers of initial foundation that you build upon. So how we got from the Three of Cups to the Ten of Wands so fast, we'll see, particularly when we see what's behind it all. With the Daughters of the Moon. What's crowning this, though, is Ten of Pentacles. There is, so 2 tens, 2 knights. The Ten of Pentacles, Daedalus, right? Sort of retired. It's a long myth. It's okay. Just watch out for them bulls. There is definitely... Oh, sorry, 9 of Pentacles. Sorry, I'm so used to the Rider-Waite version. It's a little similar. 9 of Pentacles is that self-assurance. It's I'm good on my own. It is that physical independence, even though this could be, because it's more than certainly one pentacle there with the 9, it's feeling very solar plexus. It's like, no, my boundaries are intact. I may not be at the 10. I may not be done. I may not be done with this. But I'm in a good place. And that's a choice that both of them can make, because it's crowning this. They could help each other heal this if it's soulmate, or they're teaching each other how to heal themselves, which is a twin flame. And there are links in the description box that will explain that a bit more, a newer, healthier definition of the two. Matt Kahn, amazing videos, Soul Contracts, Twin Flames, and Soulmates Redefined. So yeah, you know, here it is. This is what it's about. It's about self-esteem, solar plexus, right? Boundaries. I will do that. I won't do that. But I kind of get a little bit of an imbalance where the Virgin, whoever has the Virgin archetype, is way over boundaried, right? Like almost like in a fortress of fire, right? Come near me, you will get burned, right? And the Addict, one would think, probably has very little boundaries. But again, a general read. Where's this headed? Well, the High Priestess, when it is a major arcana card and we're looking at a chakra spectrum, in this case lower 3 chakras, it's all 3 at once. The High Priestess, Persephone, underground, not as the Maiden of Spring or the Summer Lady, but as wife and queen of the underworld, between her light and dark. You see it? Do you see between the light and dark? That's why, yeah, whatever. Hey, I'm gay. I do like a theme. And in a way, I am in the sort of High Priestess mode when I'm doing this. That's why I don't eat on this table, right? It's like, this is what it's for. It's like an altar, right? An divinatory altar. That's a bit much. It's still true. So yeah, there is an internal dive here. From the outside looking in at either or both of these two, it is about going inside. And I will say, Persephone is considered a virgin goddess, as is the High Priestess in general. Virgin, however, doesn't necessarily mean they've never had sex. You look up the original meaning of the words, right? I Google it all the time. What's the original meaning of this? What's the original meaning of that? Virgin means unowned or unbuilt upon, like virgin land. Think virgin olive oil, right? That stick of butter that no one has cut into yet, right? I want a virgin stick of butter. So that's probably leaning a little bit more towards party number 1 here. But I'll tell you this, there is deep, strong intuition here if that 9 of Pentacles is honed, right? If it's really like, okay, here's the opportunity, right? Instead of being completely dependent upon someone or something, or completely independent from anyone or anything, to find healthy interdependence. But that's gotta start within. It has to. And hence the slow and steady wins the race. We got the cross. Let's look at the staff. What's the lesson? 8 of Pentacles, doing the work. There you go. Putting your head down, 9 of Pentacling it. It's hard to say. That makes sense. Just keep going. From the outside looking in, Knight of Swords, your 3rd Knight. I guess you were waiting for a Knight. You got 3 of them. Whoa. This is the Gemini card. As I mentioned before, the Dioscuri, the twins, galloping full force in. So, it might be from the outside looking in. Maybe not you, or party number 1 or party number 2, but maybe the people around you saying, whoa, guys, slow down, right? Or it certainly could be more of that 3rd house vibe of self-expression, right? How you communicate with each other. And that's a general read for you, which is why I do these readings for clients all the time, so I can ask them the Virgo detailed questions to really pinpoint it. But since you've got 3, we're looking at other people see it as galloping. Party number 2 is sort of seen as cantering. But what really is going on here is there needs to be that slow and steady of the Virgo walk. Walk it, because if you've heard of the runaway and the chaser, 2 different archetypes, they're not in this deck, right? The runaway was smothered or abused, so they run. The chaser was usually neglected and abandoned, right? And that's why heal your parental relationships. It helps shift the romantic ones. Shift the romantic ones, helps shift the parental ones. It's all interconnected because you are the common denominator. So it doesn't matter what relationship you heal. Heal your relationship with yourself, which is sort of what the High Priestess points to, or at least listening to that deep intuition and not talking about it, right? Keeping it in the eye, which is Alcoholics Anonymous, keeping it in the eye. And we've got an addict on the table. My guides are amazing. Considering Carrie Fisher's up there, she probably has that language down pat. Oh my goodness. The destiny, like I said, the most important in this spread, kind of, sort of, got the world. Hermaphrodite, it is a goddess, it is a deity. Hermaphrodite, the sun, a child, really hard to gender, of Hermes and Aphrodite. I didn't make that up. That is what this card is. Go Google the picture on Mythic Tarot and read it. So the world, this is completion. It's the balance and the bringing together of the 4 elements, completing the major arcana, graduation, completion. This could really be the completion of this contract. Now, does that mean it's the end of the relationship? Well, I've completed some contracts with some of the people in my family, and how I know that is they can say whatever they want and it doesn't touch, right? It's like, you're a giraffe, you're a long-necked leaf-eating giraffe. I'm like, okay, blessed be, right? So it's just an example, but that they're still in my life. Or it could mean that whatever cycle you guys were in, the destiny here in the physical world is a completion, a graduation, and a new beginning. The Ouroboros swallowing its own tail. I like it. OnlyFans. What's the most likely outcome? All right. Hanged Man. Hanged Man is about sacrifice, but it need not necessarily... Sacrifice is a weird word. The root of the word means sacred, right? A sacrificial lamb is a sacred lamb. I hate to use that language, but it is something that's made sacred or holy, like sacrificing a room in your house to make your meditation space, your sacred space, your temple, what have you, right? But this is Prometheus bound, stole fire. He's a Titan, by the way. Stole fire from the Olympians, his nephews, essentially, one way or another, and got caught. He gave it to man, humans, because he wanted them to be free from the tyranny of the gods, that the humans couldn't live without them. He's like, here, fry it, go for it, bake it up, create cuisine, let's have at it. And they hung him upside down by his ankle in Tartarus, which is below the underworld. As far down as the underworld is from this world is Tartarus from the underworld. And a vulture and eagle, I forget, the bird of prey, would come and peck his liver out every day and it would grow back every morning because, boom, immortal. What are you going to do as a titan, right? They eventually let him out, by the way. It's good to know. But, you know, what a sacrifice he made, right? Another image that immediately comes to mind is Odin, hanging from the world tree Yggdrasil, plucked out an eye for cash and prizes from the Norns, the Norse version of the Fates, right? So, you know, this needs to be looked at differently, definitely. Does it mean it's the end of the relationship? Nah. But there needs to be a reevaluation of this, and somebody or both of you are going to have to sacrifice maybe a point of view. And that's why the Daughters of the Moon Tarot in the extended reading will get into what that is on the inner. Cool? So, I just want to do real quick. How many major arcanas? 1, 2, 3. 3 out of 10 is not dominant. How about Earth? 1, 2, 3. Again, I don't think you have any real predominance here. Fire, just the 2 fire, and a cup. So you've got all 4 elements on the table: air, fire, water, and earth. So that's a decent balance. Let's get 3 more cards down, and then we'll jump over to the extended The Whispers of Love Oracle by Angela Hartfield. We're going to be using for sure The Whispers of Lord Ganesh by Angela Hartfield to help remove the obstacles of those 3 atoms. That's what Lord Ganesh is about in part. But so this is the higher selves of all involved. So the virgin's higher self schemata, the one, they're not a virgin and an addict. They have the archetype, right? But their higher selves get a say on what the whisper of love is. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. There's that high vibrating, dancey, kind of, I don't want to say jittery, but excited energy. So here we go. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, what is the whisper of love for this party number 1 with the Virgin archetype in relation to party number 2? Party number 2, what is their whisper of love? Piece of information, inspiration, insight they both need on the path of true love. Rest and relaxation is essential, which can mean this person, their nervous system is inflamed. They are overstimulated. This could easily be an empath who's just been around too much hectic, cacophonic, it's a great word, like cacophony, it's cacophonesque, cafe, and probably root chakra, right? That 10, like just too much, overwhelmed in this contract in general. So we all have a fundamental need to take breaks. This could be on a break, or that's the guidance. Take a break, step back, and slow down. What does a yellow light mean? For the addict, again, for party number 2, has the addict archetype. I'm working on that. Speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change someone's life, including your own. So there is a very Gemini aspect of this. I think the addict really, really wants to move this thing forward with the Virgin. Again, I keep saying it that way, but you know what I mean. And they're just not up for it, but it might be because they need a break. They need a rest. It doesn't mean a break up, but it does. We all need to rest, particularly earth signs. We can carry a lot of energy kinesthetically, physically in our bodies, where air signs might have it up here, water signs in here. We can really take it out in the physical cell tissues, so to speak. So, all right, one more card, and if you've been following me for a while, you know what it is. You know what it is. Of course you do. It doesn't take a visionary. It doesn't take an intuition to know that the Macon Healing Mantra deck is going to have at least one card on the table in every reading I do, because this healing system is amazing. It's not, same with Carolyn Mace, not really divination. It's a healing system, but I'm a witch. I'll work what works. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the ascended masters of true love. That covers a lot of ground, right? True love between parent and child, right? True love, the true love I have with my cats, right? That is true love. It's truth and love, and that's the core of who we are. So please, beloved ascended masters of true love, one card, just one, in clarity, for the Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and Cross Watchers watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the mantra that either one of them can do to help evolve, move forward, heal, learn, grow, alchemize from shadow to light, lead to gold, pain to peace, on the path of true love? Receiving elation. I am born of infinite joy. All right, I'm going to tell you, the Virgin Archetype, joy is our natural state, according to, the Dalai Lama, Eckhart Tolle, that underneath all the programming, there is the soul, right? Receiving elation is that. It's about receiving what's already at the core of it, but, takes some time to get through those layers to that. So I am born of infinite joy. Everybody is. Everybody is. In other words, joy being that unity, the true love, the essence, the source, whatever you want to call it. Hey, where are we here? Receiving elation. There you are. Then, this is what the path of true love is it helps alchemize the lead, which is an insulator. It won't let that joy out, making it into gold, which is a conductor. So it's just a lovely language, spiritual alchemy. So let me read you what Matt Kahn has to say. I am born of infinite joy. Have that in a conversation. That should be fun. When elation is received, joy becomes your natural state of being. In elation, you are aligning with the ecstatic nature of the universe to live each moment with renewed passion and purpose. Elation helps you enjoy your human journey as it is right now, without projecting your fulfillment onto the anticipation of future pending outcomes. Yeah, like second or third date. I know I'm putting it in a romantic context where it's like, this is really good. It's like, Brenda, knock it off, right? It's like, enjoy this now. Because when you're feeling joy in the moment, you're in alignment. Who can stay there forever? Again, Dalai Lama, probably. Eckhart Tolle, I would think. Everybody else is dating. He's married, and I love Kim Ang. This mantra is ideal for increasing the flow of creative inspiration. A lot of element of fire here. That is creativity as well. Elevating the immune system, so I got that going for you. And being more present, right? Because the fear of intimacy is probably about the past and what might possibly happen in the future, not really here now, right? And with addictions, it's usually not about, same thing, right? It can be pain from the past that hasn't been dealt with and fear of what might be coming in the future. So these two have that in common, but it feels like one pulls back and the other one charges in. So to really be in the moment with this, again, does this scream romance? Whispers of Love has romance cards in it. They're not here, but we got a lot more to hit the table in part 2, the extended, the sequel. So we're going to put this together in what I call a blessimation. It's a blessing and a summation, and then at the end of that, I will release all of you in the last 2 minutes or so of the video, and usually what comes out of my mouth, well, at least it entertains me when I watch it back in editing. Please take a nice deep breath. And the fun one, baby. Still point. Here we go. As I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine, for the Taurus Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and Cross Watchers, watching this video, receiving this reading. May they be blessed with all that they need, that party number 1 can maintain the symbolic purity of heart and spirit, while party number 2 helps them finds a way of recognizing and confronting addictive behavior, and not just their own, but certainly start there. Because party number 1, that purity they feel like they need, the rest and relaxation, might be burned out, nervous system overload, right? Doesn't matter, triggered to an extreme place. Doesn't matter how beautiful things are, they're not in the present moment, one would think, right? Receiving elation, being born of infinite joy. And party number 2 here can really get a handle on the saddle and the pommel and the reins on this and slow the roll of that Sagittarius. There's probably a lot of passion, a lot of desire, a lot of want here. But underneath it all, this is about health and occupation. And occupation's not all about what we do for a living to make money. What are we occupied with? And there might be subconscious occupations going on here. I just saw that. Wow. But this is coming from a good place. 3 of Cups, they might be married. This might be a couple already together. This could be friendly before, right? But definitely a second chakra emotional bond. Doesn't make it soulmate, doesn't make it twin flame, but definitely puts it in that strong, friendly, celebratory thing, which with an addict archetype on the table could be problematic. And what crowns this is the 9 of Pentacles, each one of them getting to that place. Doesn't matter which one does it first, it's not a race, but gets to that place of self-worth, self-sufficiency, very solar plexus. No, I'm good. I may not be all the way there at the 10, but I am really solid in the 9, keeping it in the eye. And as a result of doing that, there may be a silent time here, particularly with the Hanged Man there at the end. There might be a time of deep introspection, deep intuition, secrets being kept, but lower 3 chakras probably needs to be, as boundaries are reassessed, right? Feeling this out, maybe doing the meditation, the what have you, connecting with the joy that both of them are born from. We all are. And the lesson here simply is, maybe not so simple, 8 of Pentacles. Just keep going, step by step, right? Chiseling away at it, however you want to see that. But really, this is about the physical world. There are physical things here that need to be done to move this forward, and none of it's going to happen like that. But the energy of it might very well be very, very fast at a gallop, hence the need to slow it down. It's like one foot on, like the ego is jamming its foot on the gas, but the soul is saying, whoa, slow your roll, because the destiny here is about completing things in the outside world. So that's why, to achieve the destiny rather than suffer the fate, keep doing the work, whatever work that is in a general read, and something is going to have to be let go of, sacrificed, but in exchange for something, right? Odin plucking out his eyes for cash and prizes from the Norns, just a perfect example, right? Seeing things differently so you don't crack up, bend your brain so you see both sides and throw off your mental chains. Woo, ooh, ooh. Thank you, Ascended Master Howard Jones, who's still incarnate. So that they can grow, heal, evolve, getting the rest and relaxation they need, and speaking the language of love, even if that's unto themselves, with mantras and meditations and positive self-speak and all of that, to receive the elation that they are... it's their inheritance. They're born of infinite joy. To bring that healing soul energy into this soul contract, either one of them can really move forward here. So may they be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love, to heal, to grow, and to anchor true love's energy into the Earth's electromagnetic field, grounding it, making this world a better place, because as one of us heal, all of us heal, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. So mote it be, and so it is. It was good. Considering a virgin and an addict walk into a bar. One drinks water, the other one drinks everything. Oh, please. If you saw how many dead comics I have in my spirit guide, I just call them the Shecky Collective. And I love them very, very much, but they do make the readings fun. And, you know, a spoonful of helium to make the tarot go down. So if you liked it, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe and all that jazz. I'm not stopping. The divine won't let me. You want to book me for a private reading? I was raised by a lawyer. I know how to look at a soul contract, sort of, different POV. There's a link in the description box. Booking a reading with Mal will explain everything you wanted to know about booking a reading with Mal, but perhaps were afraid to ask. And if you want the deeper dive, I'm serious. I'm really not stopping on Patreon anytime soon. I love it. It is so fulfilling, so wonderful, and my subscribers are having a really, really good time. So go click the link. We got 8 different levels of subscription, but the very first one, Seeker, $3 USD a month. You get me every single morning, and all the extendeds, including the one for this one. So thank you so much. I love this vibe here, and I think this was the elation I was sort of feeling all along, this excitement about it. So there's not just hope here, there is a path through. So hang in there, have at it, heal, I love you, hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.